What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are announcing the winner of the King of the Hill series not really series, but call that I made, I don't know, a month ago. And I promised you guys I was going to make an answer, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, right? So it was difficult because I got a lot of good responses, and a lot of people put some really good thought into this, which I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate to start with. Second, I was torn between two, and what ended up happening was is I picked one and I was modifying some of what that one was to fit the channel and fit what I was really going to go for, which I said in the beginning, I'll modify it a little bit, but I'll follow the general format. But what I ended up finding in the process of modifying the one I picked, my runner up had some of those categories, and actually the runner up, I think, hit the categories a little bit better. So I took a little bit from both, and even though I kind of mixed and matched, or I guess I could say when I was modifying one, I came up with my own layout, and it kind of was a combination of the two. So to start off, there are two winners to the King of the Hill, which I will be using going forward. I will name kind of the ideas of what I'm going for, and I didn't write these ideas out as far as like really the full definition. I'll go through and I'll explain in a video the kind of King of the Hill series what I'm looking for in depth one day when I get in. It's a lot of work to put a video like that together rather than just recording. So I got to actually put all that down and kind of really go through it. But the first category is materials/quality for the price. Basically, in a very layman terms, materials for the price being, we all know that D2 really shouldn't cost more than 60 bucks, right? There's certain exceptions, the QSP Bison, for example, that I think it is worth it. But most circumstances, I mean, it wouldn't win the quality for the price category or material for the price category necessarily there. That's what I'm referring to. If you give me FRN, I don't want to pay. Like if you're giving me a Spyderco lightweight, I don't want to pay $250 for it. That's that theory, right? And then quality for the price as well. So if we're paying $60 and something's quality is a $60 quality, that's fine. But if we're paying $250 and we're kind of getting like that quality that's just that lower level stuff, that's where that'll play. And that's all one category, materials/quality for price. Next, EDC ergos. Now, I kind of made up my own term there, but that was something that was kind of a combination of the two individuals again. And EDC ergos, not only is it comfortable in hand, not only is it, comfortable in use for EDC tasks, not necessarily stupid heavy tasks, not necessarily, super, woodworking stuff, but just EDC tasks. If I go and do something normal with it for the day, is it going to feel fine? Two, EDC ergos is going to go into pocket ergos. And pocket ergos is basically a carry factor in itself. This, while super comfortable, doesn't necessarily fit in your pocket to the point where it's like, yes, I enjoy carrying that. While something like this, yeah, that kind of hits almost both in my opinion. So what I'm getting at with EDC ergos, imagine it ergos in hand for EDC tasks and ergos in your pocket. How does it feel on a day-to-day use when you're not using it? Do you notice it? It's okay to notice it, but is it like poking you or anything like that? So that's where the EDC ergos go, and I'm going to kind of grade it on that for the King of the Hill series. Availability. I thought this was a fantastic one. I don't think the king or reigning king should be a knife that is terribly hard to get. A lot of this stuff is going to be subjective as I go through it, but I will put as much of an objective spin on it. Now, availability, though, if it's hard to get, we'll rank it on a scale of 1 to 10, and then we'll stick with the 0, 1, 2 scale that I use for my comparison videos, and it'll go there. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Can I get it? Can I not? Is it hard to find? I will include secondary markets on this, so I'll search the secondary markets and see how available they are. Basically, what I'll do is I'll go to Reddit and I'll do a search for that knife. And if that knife has popped up several times in the past year, well, then it's a little bit more available in that sense than something that only popped up once throughout the year, if you can't get it in retailers, for example. That's how I'll kind of double back on it some more. Basic characteristics. Now this one is kind of a hybrid of one of them that says basic specs, and it gives examples, and it's hard to judge basic specs, right? But it's not in the sense of, you know, those ratios that exist that we kind of all make fun of as reviewers, where we're like, oh, the blade to length ratio, blah, blah, blah. Well, what that really is, without us being snooty about it, what that really is that's getting the most of your knife and using the space in the most ergonomic way. And I don't mean that in a way of like in your hand. I mean, the closer the pivot is up to the top of the actual handle, you're going to get more blade length to handle ratio, right? That ratio is going to be longer. What that does is effectively giving you longer life on your knife because you're getting more blade and sharpened edge in theory, right? Same thing goes for weight versus the blade length. That kind of goes into a carry factor situation, but let's say, you know, a knife is 3 inches long when it's closed, but weighs 2.5 ounces. Like, does that make much sense? Maybe not, you know, like that type of thing. So it's going to be characteristics of, does this ratio make sense? I can even put the ratio in a numerical format that I can take a lot of the subjective views out of it there. And then the last one in the basic characteristics is going to be ease of manipulation. So what that's going to be is that's basically your fidget factor, right? Ease of manipulation. Can I pull it out? Can I open it real quick? Can I shut it real quick and put it back in my pocket to make that little samurai slice that nobody saw us open up a bag of chips with because we just don't feel like pulling on both sides anymore, right? That's what ease of manipulation is. It is fidget factor, but let's be honest. Fidget factor not only is entertainment, but it is getting it out of your pocket. And the root of fidget factor is getting it out of your pocket, flicking it open, making a cut, flicking it shut, and putting it in your pocket almost in the same motion. Which, if you're a knife guy that fidgets with your knife, that constantly pulls it out of your pocket when you're not really thinking and your mind goes blank, or you're trying to think of something, right? You probably have that motion down. Open, flick, slice, shut in your pocket, almost in one seamless motion. How easy is this knife to do that? So those are all going to fall under the category of basic characteristics. And last but not least, enthusiast rating. So enthusiast rating is going to be probably one of the more subjective categories out of all of these. Man, you got materials quality for price, right? Some of that is subjectively viewed, but the quality is. And if you have any quality issues, you know, it's the only difference is somebody may pay more for a blade steel than others. Like that's really the only subjective issue there. EDC ergos, yes, those ergos pertain mostly to me, but I'm going to be using it, and I have relatively average hands. So while that's subjective, that has a little bit of objective value. Availability really isn't subjective. That just, is it available, is it not? And basic characteristics is purely objective, whereas enthusiast rating is going to be the most subjective. It's kind of similar to my generic battle format, where it is, I guess you could say, you know, aesthetics, right? Not saying it's aesthetics for enthusiast rating, but how sought after is this knife? Now you can go through and kind of look, and everything's a flavor of the month. So the enthusiast rating and the availability, you know, might make, you know, Muhammad Ali win today, but in 2 years those categories are going to go down because there's going to be new shit out. So it's going to keep the cycle kind of rotating in that sense. So those are my three: materials quality, for the price, EDC ergonomics, which entails not just in hand, but generic daily use and in your pocket, because that's part of EDC, right? You're carrying it every day. The availability, which if it's not available on retailers, I will go on Reddit and see how available it is there within the past year. Basic characteristics: length of blade versus overall length, length of blade versus weight, so blade to length ratio, blade to weight ratio, and ease of manipulation in and out of your pocket. You know, you pull it out of your pocket, you open it up, you make a cut, you put it back in your pocket, right? That's what ease of manipulation means in this sense. And then enthusiast rating. Enthusiast rating, as I just said, is how sought after is it in the community? How hot is it right now? That's kind of the flavor of the month topic, right? Now, some of you may already know who won, if you're ones that still watch the channel and not just there for the giveaways. But it was tossed up between Caldron Fitzpatrick and Brandon the Crow. I will try to get some screenshots of their comments and let you guys kind of read through and see really what they put and the thought that they put into the response. The whole point of doing that giveaway was to get thoughtful responses back, right? So why not entice you guys with a couple nabs? So Brandon the Crow and Keldon Fitzpatrick. And because I could not choose one, and also because the QSP Pelican was a giveaway knife for my 1,000 subs giveaway, if I'm not mistaken, and the winner of that giveaway happened to not be in the U.S. and really not be able to give a good address to send to get shipped out, which I never talk about, which is my fault, but shipping overseas is a pain in the ass. Shipping is a pain in the ass in itself, and it costs a lot of money, especially if you're sending it overseas. So my giveaways are pretty much relegated to intercontinental US unless you have a good shipping address that I can send to. So Keldon Fitzpatrick and Brandon the Crow, you guys both won. That's why there are two knives. This is the Artisan Cutlery Cazador, which this is the prototype. This didn't even have a name when it first came out. So that's what made it cool. I got it and I intended to review it and I just never freaking carried it. I don't really do this style and I got it and I I just didn't pick it up, you know. It's not that I dislike the knife. I think it's actually pretty cool. I don't do the slender knives. I like the more fat blades. So there's two knives here. The first person of you two to comment on this video gets to choose which one you want. So it'll be completely transparent, completely up to you. You guys watch the video, you make a comment saying, I want the Pelican, or I want the Cazador. That is up to you. Their price ranges are generically the same. The Cazador might be a little bit cheaper now, but when I bought the prototype, it was probably more expensive than the Pelican, so that's how it seems a little fair to me. Plus, like I said, this was originally a giveaway knife, and it just never made it to its original winner, so let's give it away again. So these are the two knives for the giveaway for the King of the Hill series. That is my King of the Hill series ideas. After this video, I am going to try to record a mock King of the Hill battle so that we can kind of see where I'm going to go with this. I'm calling it a mock because these two knives, I don't know that I would ever battle against each other because I do intend to have categories. I haven't figured out the categories, or I should say weight classes of knives yet. I don't know if I want to do it by brand, by price. I'm not sure there. But at least we have the categories that we're going to be grading them on. So, you guys just listened and watched as these knives sat there. But I wanted to thank you guys for participating. I'm excited to start this series. I will still do battle videos that I will probably revert back to my original style with the 7 categories. But those are just for fun comparisons between two knives. When we're trying to really seek the King of the Hill, that is when I'm going to revert to this subject of categories. That way it kind of creates two different tiers. One that's, you know, an exhibition bout, and one that is for the title. Okay? And we'll also do like little tournaments too, right? I intend to, you know, not just throw somebody against the current reigning champion of the King of the Hill, which is my Oui Esprit, which is kind of dirty because it is one of my favorite EDCs, and I used it to carve pumpkins at one point in time and didn't clean it up well enough. That's my fault. But yeah. So I will be doing a mock battle probably after this, and you will see exhibition bouts. You will see, you know, little tournaments. It'll be kind of fun. It'll be a fun series to go through. Keldon and Brandon the Crow, thank you guys for your thoughtful comments. Thank you everybody else who did some thoughtful comments in the video. It was fantastic to see the participation and, you know, the thought that went into some of these. You know, some of you guys wrote paragraphs after paragraphs and explaining your ideas, and that's kind of what I was looking for was that type of response, because you could just say quality, but what does quality really mean, right? So thank you guys. Thank you to everybody that participated. Thank you for everybody that subbed to the channel. Thank you for everybody that watched the videos. If you watch the videos and you're not subbed to the channel, please do. Also, please, if you guys watch the videos on a consistent basis, like or dislike the video, whichever one you want. I want to show that there's, you know, some sort of reaction to the video. If it's just in the background, you're not really doing nothing with it or listening, then don't give either, because that's kind of the point of liking or disliking. My name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. Looking forward to what's coming up next, guys. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and or leave a comment. The whole reason this channel was created was to interact with you guys and just share the love of knives. So until next time, you guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking rest of your day. Thanks for watching.